Last time on Dice Fall and Everyone Dies.
Taffy darts for the tome.
Stano's gonna step in, take a deep breath, go, smell magic.
And a weirdly familiar sensation happens, Taffy. You step forward, and then all of a sudden, spear glides from the wall. She sees what she knows is obviously an advanced Hell Knight armature.
She's headed. I hate you so much. I hate you 100%.
Always have to kill these bloody little hell monkeys and make sure they're dead permanently.
Whoa.
Everybody has a crush on him now.
Welcome back to Dice Fall and Everyone Dies. I'm your GM Chris, and let's take a few moments to talk about Hell Knights. The first book of this adventure is named after Hell Knight Hill after all. They deserve a look. Now, very few people in Galarion actually like Hell Knights. They may like people who are Hell Knights, but the title Hell Knight actually carries a lot of weight and meaning across the regions of the Inner Sea. The Orders of Hell Knights actually began as a vigilante group, and they were then recognized by Chilaxian royalty and then grew into a multitude of orders. Each group has their own distinctive styled full plate and operates independently towards their own specific concerns. And what, pray tell, do these orders concern themselves with? The law. Their own law, really, documented in a collection called The Measure, which uses 3 primary strictures to encapsulate its philosophy. This, called the Chain, these links are order, discipline, and mercilessness. Order, in the eyes of Hell Knights, is a world so peaceful that they have no need to exist, where each soul will punish transgressors who hold back progress. Discipline exists to remind one that achievement comes at a cost, which must always be paid, and perfect discipline will pay any cost, even beyond destruction of any and every obstacle. Mercilessness. This must be upheld as all are guilty, including the Hell Knight themselves, and that any compassion is a slippery slope towards anarchy and chaos. From these philosophical tenets, the 7 major orders of Hell Knights were spun off: the Order of the Chain, Order of the Gate, the Order of the God Claw, Order of the Nail, Order of the Pyre, and Order of the Rack, and Order of the Scourge. While other orders do exist, these primary 7 are the most well known, and in Age of Ashes, the Order of the Nail is the most prominently featured, as Castle Altrain was one of their first citadels before Queen Domina of Corvosa in Varsity lured the group away from Isker. The Nail seeks to bring order to wilderness. They see roaming monsters, wild superstition, and frontier existence as an existential threat to the concept of society. And while many folks would consider monster slaying and scaring away the terrors of the Knights an admirable work, many live on the frontier to get away from the hustle and bustle of codified city existence. A Hell Knight of the Order of the Nail would slay a dire beast in the morning, lecture against the superstitions of hedge witches in the afternoon, and then burn down your homestead just to build a road between 2 cities in the evening. And if you happen to resist, they would capture or kill you as you were found wanting by weight of the measure. And if there was any pity or sorrow in that Hell Knight's heart, they would then bear down upon their own body with the weight of the chain to reinforce the order, discipline, and mercilessness. Think the Dark Knight meets edgelord meets fascist. And that might be a little harsh, but considering how often Hell Knights are antagonists and how often the orders use the pits of hell as the operating model and some of the coolest plate armor that you've ever dreamed of, it's really kind of true. Are they evil? Not inherently, though. Psychopaths and murderers are generally not able to pass the strict enforcement codes, but compassion tends to be beaten out of the soul of a Hell Knight. You could accomplish great and good deeds, but you'll grind many under your heels in the process. And each of the orders are created in a way to allow game masters and players to ask hard and deep questions of the characters. What would you do to bring peace to a world where death could visit you capriciously, then flaunt its power, burn your home, and zip away in a blink? How far would you push your body to protect the ones around you? Is any mountain too high? Can you display compassion in the face of a horde of rampaging monsters as villagers flee behind you? When the strongest steely wheel can be undermined by the rust of petty concerns, why not gird your soul to prevent the loss of your hard-won strengths? Very few people in Galarion like Hell Knights, but none can deny that they are effective. So what does this mean for the blushing cheeks of our Hell Knight fangirl Stano? Is Demos right in keeping Alak at a distance? Will Alak's charms butter bread up? Is there anyone Taffy won't try to make friends with? If you want to know the answers to these questions, then share our podcast with your friends and fellow players. And if you enjoy the story or think we're doing something wrong, let us know in the comments section and we'll fix what we can. I promise to try to restrain myself from using saxophone gags too often in too many episodes in a row. Promise. Now, let us catch up to our adventurers as they get down to business in the heart of Hell Knight Hill. Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Dice Fall and Everyone Dies. We are in the same studio with a new setup today. Everyone's mics are in different positions, so if we sound different, that is the first part. We may even sound different again in another couple episodes as we finally switch out our mixer board, but that's just some of the little technical bits. I want to know how everyone's doing today so we can make sure we all sound excellent. Let's go ahead and start with Zach and Brett. How are y'all feeling today?
We're good.
And then Jules.
Doing quite excellent.
And Shay.
It is 66 degrees in December.
I know, weird, isn't it? And Sid?
Yeah.
That's what happens when you catch someone in the middle of a nice stretch. Alright, so when last we left off, y'all had just finished meeting an unexpected denizen, well, not quite denizen, an unexpected visitor to Castle All-Terrain, and Alak Stagram. Y'all had just finished killing 2 imps, and there was a moment where everyone seemed to be somewhat enamored with Alak.
Except Demos.
Except Demos.
And as long as Alak wasn't talking to anyone, even Demos was somewhat accepting, just as long as his mouth was shut.
Somewhat.
But outside of that moment, y'all had made a fast new friend who is ready to travel about the castle with you, looking for something. Y'all haven't quite gotten down to exactly why Alak is here.
I don't think we've asked him.
He said he was on vacation. Hell of a place for a vacation.
So is he like a...
No, a frat boy would find something fun to do.
He's an Adam's family cousin.
I see.
Well, okay, how do you know that this isn't fun for him?
Okay,
Stano thinks it's fun to kill imps all day.
But this is just more work.
Stano.
He could, if he was a frat boy type, he'd go find, like...
Some bar to go crush PBRs at.
Yeah, basically.
Natty Lights.
Find wherever...
Natty Lights.
Elves Gone Wild is.
I don't think elves like to take off their tops very often, or at least not for humans.
You haven't met all the elves I have.
That's fair.
Stano's now confused about Demos' family. Because if we all recall, Demos is a half-elf.
Yes.
I feel like it'd be orcs gone wild.
Oh, that's even... That's horrifying.
Work's gone normal, really.
Orcs
That
having
makes
a hell of
Belts
a
in a
time.
very interesting place for sure. So y'all find yourselves now each standing in the red pentagrammed inside of a circle. Your weapons freshly cleaned from the imp guts that's there. Alec looking on at y'all, seeing where y'all want to each pursue next. My exploration has been cursory so far to this wing. Have y'all had an opportunity to see what else lies within this dilapidated keep?
Oh, you know, goblins, bugbears, that kind of thing.
'Tis what happens when you let order go for too long without proper upkeep. 'Tis a shame, but if y'all are handling the situation, that is beneficial at least.
Yeah, we're trying to clear out the floor so that clean up the keep.
Is
No.
that what you call the paintings?
I don't do that. Wimble did that. Wimble this week is DeVito last time.
It was Christopher Walken last
Christopher
time.
Walken lime. So this week he is.
Ooh, Clint Eastwood.
Just stares at empty chairs all day and just looks menacingly.
Okay, yeah,
at
Burt
them.
Reynolds?
Ow, Burt. Yeah. Yeah, he's Burt Reynolds.
Burt Reynolds.
Was that Magnum PI or was that the? Other
I
one
don't know.
With the
I know Burt Reynolds from Saints Row 2.
Smokey and the Bear.
Saints Row
I'm
3,
gonna-
sorry.
I'm gonna say Smokey and the Bear, Burt Reynolds.
Okay, Smokey the Bandit.
Or Smokey and the Bandit, yeah.
The-
Smokey and the Bear. I don't
That's just Smokey the Bear.
Imagining Burt Reynolds dressed up in a Smokey the Bear costume.
Right?
He wouldn't wear the hood. No, not the hood, the head.
Well, you gotta have that mustache
Yeah, you
for it
gotta.
to even matter.
Did Wimble suddenly pop out a mustache?
Oh, yeah.
Your sprite is strange. I could swear it had no facial hair just a few moments ago.
Yeah, he does that from time to time.
Is it like an illusion? And Alec kind of bends over to like poke Wimble in each side of the face to see if he can like touch the little whiskers.
Wimble does a very miffed, like,
Finger wagging does not
I
translate to
know.
audio.
So he wags his finger at Alec after biffing his fingernail and doesn't say anything because the only person that has heard Wimble say anything at this
It's
point
Bread.
is Bread. And just shakes his head and he covers his mouth. And I say, when he has facial hair, he's very particular, especially when he looks like this guy.
I see. I've never seen a sprite do that before. Are you
Yeah.
sure he's not an imp?
I'm positive he's not an imp. I found him in the Fey world.
The Fey world?
Yep.
You carry such interesting company, my lady.
Stan is going to take a moment to look at each of them and turn and go, I know. In times like these, one does not choose one's entourage.
Entourage.
Hey, you chose me.
Is that how you'd put it?
You didn't tell me to get lost.
Didn't you end up at the bottom of a creek earlier?
What do you know?
That you ended up on the bottom of a creek earlier.
I learned a very valuable lesson.
What? How to swim?
I grew up on the water. Excuse you.
If y'all are ready, I believe what I am searching for is not within this chamber.
What are you searching for?
There is a memento, something of my family that they left here before moving up into towards the shores of Varsity.
What's it look like?
It is my family's signet ring. And heaven forbid I have a most curious father that he decided it would be a most wonderful test to leave it here for me to retrieve. Now that they have passed on, it is my opportunity to finally expend some of my holiday hours and retrieve it.
Can't take your inheritance until you have the ring, huh?
Taffy,
I'm sorry.
shall we continue?
Yes.
Always have to be aware of the gnomes. They tend to be a bit prickly and sharp.
Indeed.
So, from this room, there are two doors. So the door that y'all entered in from the training grounds,
Mm-hmm.
Or y'all actually entered in not from the training grounds. There's a door to the training grounds, and then there's a door to the pantry that y'all entered in from.
Yes.
But those are the two doors in this room. Do y'all want to backtrack through the pantry or backtrack through the training room?
Which side have we explored more?
So you've explored both the northern and southern wings a bit, but you think there's likely at least one room on this wing that you've not explored, and you know that there's at least a couple aspects of the northern wing that y'all have not explored yet.
But we've explored the training room. That's where we found the silver, right?
Yes. So in the training room, y'all went up into the pantry, and you know that the training room connects to the...
But we didn't go into the kitchens connected to the pantry.
Correct.
Let's do that.
Let's backtrack to the pantry to go through the kitchens.
Kitchens, my favorite.
Of course it is.
It's where you always find a bread.
So who wants to
Womp womp.
open the door to the kitchen?
I'm going to leave that for more experienced trap finders than myself.
Oh,
Not
I
that
think you're
they're-
quite experienced.
Yes, I am very skilled at finding traps. It's disarming them and...
Or avoiding them.
You know, avoiding them.
I'll check the door.
All right, go ahead and give me a thievery.
17.
You can tell that it is untrapped and unlocked.
Stana's going to push it open.
As you push open the door, you see a dust-covered black wooden countertop running along the walls to the southeastern end of this galley-style room. It was clearly once a kitchen, but its cupboards and shelves were stripped of most tools and provisions long ago.
Who has a galley kitchen and a keep?
Keep that would have a lot of soldiers.
I mean, I guess.
What would y'all like to do in the room? You see that in this room there is a door to the north as well as a door to the east.
I'm going to search all the lower cupboards.
I'll search the higher cupboards.
Okie doke.
I'll search the middle ones.
You clearly don't know how a kitchen works.
Well,
Deimos is just opening the microwave over and over again.
All right, everyone give me a perception check.
I rolled a 1 with a +5.
22.
So yeah, I am just opening the microwave repeatedly.
13.
12. Also, after that, I would like to look for magic in the room.
Might be too late. I think we just triggered a magic trap.
In the cupboards?
I don't know, maybe.
Brad begins checking the upper cupboards, seeing that everything from them has been looted out. There's nary a bit of silverware or dish left going through. And then immediately as Taffy opens up the lower cupboards,
Really?
swarms of red-eyed spiders begin swarming
Oh
out
my
great.
god.
I love
into the
swarms.
room. 2 full swarms of spiders spread out and spread across all of the room, catching everyone in the radius. The creeping, crawling bugs
Ugh.
all over everyone.
Oh.
Bread, it is your turn.
Oh, good. Well, he's gonna be caught by surprise and try to just flick him off and all over me. Spiders. I don't know. What do you do in that situation?
Start smacking them.
You attack them?
What, with his sword that's on your body? That's smart.
I mean,
Probably covered in spiders.
Are they like huge spiders or are they like normal sized spiders?
It is a mix of large and small, but not huge as in like small-sized creature. So this is a swarm of very large spiders in general.
Like inside spider.
There's a few of them in there,
Oh, I know what I'm doing.
Can I like?
but we're looking at stuff that's like the size of like at least half a palm size
no.
tarantula, just
No.
all over the room at this point.
Stop.
I want to get out of the freaking room. That's what I want to do.
All right, you want to spend an action to move out of the room?
Yeah.
All right, and you've got 2 more actions.
I'll hold my action.
All right, what do you want to be your trigger?
If any of them follow me,
Including ones that are on you?
are they like all over me?
So you can move out of the swarm, and then part of it's like you're kind of shaking them off
Yeah.
as you get through. The swarm themselves acts as like an area of effect body. So you may have like 1 or 2 on you, but it would be a much smaller aspect to it.
Well, if there are any on me, I would like to perform an unarmed strike against the spiders on me.
Well, you're readying an action, so that would take all of them. Or that would use all of your actions, because
Yeah.
remember, it takes 2 to ready. But if it moves over, if all of a sudden you start getting chased by spiders, you'll get your action.
Okay.
Steno.
Oh my god. Okay, is she covered in spiders?
Yes.
Okay, she's going to take a step back out of the swarm.
Okay.
And I don't really understand how swarms work. She's going to power attack the swarm?
Okay.
Is that a thing?
And you're using your slashing weapon?
Yeah, her greatsword.
Alrighty.
So that is... That's a 24 to hit.
24 hits.
15 damage.
So with your power attack sweeping across, you take the flat of your blade and you bring it down on a large swath of the creatures. You think you could have like almost done the equivalent of the carpenter with the ruler taking down 7 in one blow, but instead it looks like you take out well over 2/3 of one of the swarms that's there. It seems that they're kind of moving 2 sides independently, but you have dealt damage significantly to a fairly large swath of them.
Good.
Demos.
Hate bugs.
Well,
Creepy crawly.
let's attempt
Get ready
to-
bite.
because if that kind of damage is going to work on them, I'm going to try to attack them with my rapier.
You
Okay.
gonna unguard a spider?
On guy. 12.
12 to hit, misses.
Let's use magic missile on him and do it to heightened by 1, so 2 actions.
So you use 2 actions on it?
Yes. And that auto hits 1d plus 1, so it's 2d4 plus.
No, 2d4 plus 2 because it's 1d4 per... Oh, it's a plus 1 for each d4.
No, it's additional missile. So 2d4.
For each action you use, gives you an additional missile. When you heighten it, you get multiple missiles per action used.
Okay.
6 damage.
And are you attacking the part of the swarm that Stana was attacking, or the other part of the swarm?
The other one.
So you see your missiles impact into swaths of the swarm, and as your missiles kind of impact into the ground, you see like little pops of smaller ones kind of pop up along at the same time. Alak, trying to follow Stano's lead, also pulls out his greatsword and makes a swing. His first strike is not too terribly effective, as he's trying to bat them away with each of his strikes. Taffy, what would you like to do, Taffy?
I'm going to. So in front of me, there's the cupboards.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anybody within like a?
So as y'all all moved into the kitchen area, the kitchen itself is about a 15 by 15 foot space. And so far, Bread has moved out of the area, and in the area is presently Damos, Alec, and yourself. And I believe Stano has just moved to the edge of it as well. And across this space now, crawling with web slingers, you find yourself.
I'm gonna reach out my hand in a direct line into like spiders, trying not to hit anybody, and I'm gonna cast Ray of Frost.
All right, go ahead and roll to hit with your ray. Ooh, that is a button.
Wow.
What was that?
Same exact roll.
Same exact roll.
Is it a natural 1?
No.
That's positive. Well, I mean, for the spiders.
It's my arcane spellcasting, and then not my DC.
So it is going to be your proficiency plus your ability modifier.
So that's 10.
10 does not hit.
Uses 2 actions.
Yep, you have 1
I'm
action
gonna take
left.
the third action and cast shield.
Alrighty.
Now it's for the spider.
So for everyone
Well, now I know
inside,
how I'm rolling.
so that's going to be Demos, Taffy, and Alec. Give me a reflex save.
Aw. I'm gonna take it though. 16.
23.
So, 19.
You each pass as they begin biting into your armor, trying to find different places of exposed skin. But y'all are all still there and they continue to bite. Give me another reflex save.
Yeah, I got the 13.
You see.
Oh, Deimos.
So 13 for Deimos?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Alec and Deimos both suffer from 3 points of piercing damage as spiders find chinks in the armor, begin finding ways up under the cloth, and begin sinking jaws into your skin.
Ah.
And both Alec and Deimos need to give me fortitude saves.
23.
Okay, you don't seem to be affected by its venom yet, but they still have one more action remaining. Everyone give me one more reflex save if you're still in the room.
16.
Taffy.
Nah, 11.
Taffy, you will be taking 3 points of piercing damage. Give me a fortitude save. Ooh, that's a second button in one combat from Taffy. How many buttons does Taffy have left? 0 buttons left?
Oh, no.
Oh no.
19.
Okay, so you pass the fortitude save.
So just 3 points.
3 points of piercing damage as the fangs sink into your skin. Bread.
Okay, he's gonna regain his composure.
Okay.
Okay, draw his short bow, and the door between the rooms is closed, right?
No, the door's open because Stano had to attack through them.
Okay, all right.
Now, that's between the training hall and the kitchen. The kitchen to the other rooms is closed.
but the I'm in the training hall.
Correct.
Okay. I'm gonna take a shot at the swarm that has already had damage. Well, I guess they both have damage.
Yes, they
so-
both have had their numbers thinned quite a bit.
Okay, so
You're welcome.
So just the first swarm, I guess. We'll just call it that. First is a 24,
Hits.
a 5.
You see that you hit into the swarm, but not enough to be able to really clear any of them out. It's as though you deflect several of them with the swing of the arrow, and you know you hit into it, but it does not appear to have killed enough of them.
So are you telling me that they need slashing damage, not piercing damage, or is that?
Do you want to spend an action for a nature recall knowledge?
Yeah, sure. 20.
So swarms, especially swarms of spider, tend to resist piercing and slashing damage, and they resist a little bit of bludgeoning, but they resist much less bludgeoning than they do the others. And they're very weak to area of effect damage and splash damage.
Stomping them with your boot.
Would be more
Effective.
effective than trying to shoot them with an arrow.
Well, I didn't.
But you were just going to shoot the one spider and they were all going to run away.
Best idea, but I don't know.
But what? Hang on. What if we lit what if we lit the arrow on fire?
I don't have time for that.
So you would have a fire aspect to that,
Yeah.
and then you'd have the piercing damage.
Yeah.
And if you did enough damage with the piercing damage, then you would be able to set them on fire.
Yeah.
But you have to be able to do damage with
As
the
it
piercing.
is, there are now spiders in Castle All-Terrain. Me as Shay, I vote we burn the whole castle to the ground. Cultists, fine.
and
Bugbears, fine. Goblins, fine. Spiders, nope.
It's a big old fat no red.
Steno.
She's gonna power attack again.
All right. The swarm that you hit last time.
Yeah. Give me a minute. 17.
17 hits.
Yeah.
Roll thine damage.
9?
Roll your damage.
Ah.
12. Wait. 22.
So you finish off the swarm that you've been hacking at, taking out the last of the big spiders of that one, and you can tell that there is one swarm that remains. And so this is the part of the swarm that is covering Taffy and Deimos. Y'all are the two presently most affected by it. You have one action left, right, Steno?
Yeah. Who is closer to Stano?
Right now, Alec would be closer to you.
Is he in the spiders?
No, the ones that you just finished off, has dispersed that swarm.
Okay. Which is Taffy or Deimos closer to her?
Deimos would be closer to Steno.
Could she reach him without moving?
No, you'd have to move.
Oh. Yeah.
You could always move into the swarm to do it.
Oh, no. No, thank you. Fuck. Okay. Can she reach the other swarm?
Yes, you can move. You would need to do a 5-foot adjustment to be able to be in melee of the other swarm.
She's gonna 5-foot adjust, and she's gonna try and hit him.
All right, so with your power attack and your 5-foot adjust, that has you in melee of the swarm and the start of Demos' turn.
All right. We're going for the rapier again because I'm out of combat spells. Let's see here. Here, take up. That was miserable.
Yes, more buttons. Maybe Medvik should employ spiders. They could go fetch the buttons for him.
No.
9.
Be just so effective. And no, a 9 does not hit them. You have 2 actions remaining, Demos.
Let's do both guidance and inspire courage. No.
Who are you casting guidance on?
Hold on. I'm going to do inspire courage for everyone and shield on myself.
Excellent. And so that now brings it to Alex's turn.
Oh yeah, Taffy had shield and the spiders attacked her. Did you cast shield before they attacked?
Did.
They don't actually attack your AC.
Ah, balls.
Oh.
Alec takes Stano's lead in this one, and then takes his greatsword, turns it to the flat of it, and then begins using it to just slam down all of the big spiders that are there. Just thwap, 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 dealing the last of the damage necessary to finish out the final swarm. Ha! Take that, underfoot, and he stomps down and squishes the final larger spider.
I have one.
You put a spider in your pocket?
I put a spider.
Taffy, what is
No.
that?
Nothing.
What is that?
Nothing.
What do you have?
I have nothing.
Is it dead?
No.
Then get it out before it bites you.
No.
Or Luna?
Now it's dead.
No, it's dead and it's reagents.
Okay, fair.
Okay.
Wimble takes a moment. He gets into your pocket and he pulls out a leg.
Starts chomping on it.
He starts chomping on it.
Oh no!
A little bit like how you imagine people eating crawfish would be doing. He's just
No!
Oh
Oh.
Wimble's so gross, but awesome. Because he's also in, like, he is, like, brightly colored. Like, pinks and yellows and blues. And he's wearing, like, this little tunic that's a little too short.
just a little too short.
just slightly too short. It doesn't quite cover as much as it should.
Oh.
But he wears tights underneath. It just, you get a weird, like, little...
You know where the jingling comes from.
And he has pixie sweat. So he's, like, sprinkles everywhere.
Oh, that's really
What?
gross.
Pixie sweat. It's like glitter.
No.
It fades.
No.
Mm-hmm.
No. No.
Yep.
So as you finish off the spiders and the last smaller ones scurry away under some of the doors up out of sight, you notice that there is a small bit of provisions left. Most have rotted and ruined, but from what you can tell, there's a lot or enough loose herbs and oils that you could end up making about 2 antidotes if you have the skill.
I don't.
What's the skill, Chris?
If you happen to have an alchemical crafting skill, you would be able to turn them into antidotes.
Yeah, let's cram them in the pocket and we can either sell them or gain the skills later.
Probably not my spider pocket, though. I'm just going to call it that from now on.
How many pockets do you have
That's
that
so
you can
disturbing.
have a spider pocket?
And Bread, you notice this pretty quickly. As you're checking one of the upper cabinets, it seems you happen to have found some arsenic.
Arsenic.
2 doses worth.
2 doses. Guys, this is amazing.
How is that amazing?
What are you going to
Poison.
do? Bread, what are you...
Poison.
It's probably for rats.
Poison for rats. You know what I call rats? Most people.
What?
Not me,
Most
though.
people are rats, then you want to poison them. Don't you get it?
You shouldn't be poisoning people.
Have you met people?
Yes.
Demo strikes me as
obviously.
somebody who meets several people in a day.
Yeah, several.
And you've never wanted to poison them?
No, can't say I have.
Well, la-dee-da,
You know,
what a
Brett-
great life you must live.
You know, Brett, now
I meet
now
you
that
on
I'm
the
thinking
daily.
about it, I think I might have some similar feelings about some people.
Yeah, like a certain store clerk. Stupid halfling.
He's not a people.
No, that'd be a people.
No.
He's still a person.
You have to get beyond your prejudices. He is a people.
We're not having this conversation.
We need to have.
We're
an
not having this conversation again.
Again.
I'll get you.
She's
later.
going to stride forward into the kitchen.
So-
Full speed.
Yes.
Clinging as she goes.
So in the kitchen, you
She's
see
not
that
wearing full plate. Sorry.
you see that there's the door leading north as well as a door leading east. And you think you've got a full sense of this wing of the castle now. The door to the north heads into the mess hall. The
Mhm.
door over to the east is leading into the rooms and barracks area. And you're pretty sure that you have a solid foundation of all of the rooms in this wing. Where
Wing
would y'all
cleared.
like to go
Check.
at this point?
Let's go to the other wing. Clear that out.
Do you want to approach the wing from the western halls or the eastern halls?
Which one did we approach it from?
So you've actually approached the northern wing from both sides, but you've not yet fully rounded out the sections. When y'all first entered Castle All-Terrain, y'all entered in from the western side, explored a couple rooms, and then headed south. When y'all entered again later, you entered in from the eastern quarters through the foyer, moved over into the courtroom section where you found the warg puppies and defeated the warg. But y'all have not completed a closed circuit around there yet.
So we know the warg is dead, so let's go that route.
Is that what the party would like to do?
Yes.
Yeah.
Excuse me again.
Do you want to introduce Yolecha to Alec?
Ooh.
Not right now. No. We'll deal with that later.
Well, we're gonna be walking right into her if we go that way, aren't we?
Well, you can head north through the mess hall
Mm-hmm.
and then into the drilling area.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, you'll gain access to the halls that go around the courtyard.
Let's go that way.
So you open up into the mess hall. You see the broken and shattered remnants of the castle. Then you go through into the drilling area with the pews, the platform. As you're beginning to walk by that area, you see Alec kind of stop next to one of the cabinets there. And he would look and he'd be like, "This is typically where they would store the marks for trainees." And he opens up the drawer. It seems they've taken all of the marks of training with them when they pass.
Oh, are those the things that we found?
It is.
Oh, Stanton's gonna pull one out of her bag and be like, "Oh, these."
Yes, those are sacred to the Hell Knight Order.
Yes, we gathered them up. There's a haberdashery over in the town that we can take them to get them corrected.
I'm quite pleased that someone is willing to show the courtesy due to an not quite effect. What's the word? The livery necessary for bringing order to everything. Excellent.
His name was just like every time Alec talks, he's like, "Yeah."
He's standing like somewhere behind Alec, just his eyes up in the back of his head, just like, why?
Taffy's gonna very gently, because she can't.
In the mic.
Because she can't do it very hard, she's just gonna, as she walks by Deimos, she's just lightly go,
Be nice.
I
softly,
am.
just to Deimos.
I am.
And so y'all begin entering into the halls. There's a part for the drill instructor area where the hall is broken up into two, 5.5-foot rooms on either side. These were the doors next to the infamous creaking gate of fun that y'all entered through. You can see that
Oh, near the Growlodons.
Yep.
the corpse of the Growlodon has begun picking up its odor a little bit, having obviously been butchered
Bread's like,
right there.
That's starting to smell like a good, nice vintage.
Alec wrinkles his nose. I see that will have to be carried out at some point.
Probably sooner better than later.
Else
Or it
you
could
will
just be
attract
burned
rats.
here.
What was that?
Just burn it.
I'll burn it.
Not now.
There was a lot of enthusiasm in that.
And y'all begin
No.
entering through the doors, moving along the halls. As y'all begin passing the slightly tilted portraits, Alec takes a moment and writes each one as he goes by.
I scold Wimble before he even starts to leave my shoulder. Like, no.
The whole time that he's straightening these, Stano is staring daggers at Taffy.
And what you guys get to miss is...
Oh my god!
Not
No!
all of them. Not all of them. Is Deimos just kind of like takes that last one and like misadjusts it again. It's like, nope.
Taffy is giggling so much right now.
So y'all then move over towards the partially collapsed hall and the doors entering into the courtroom. As y'all move your way into the courtroom, you see the crushed wall and the sunken pool, another corpse there, tailless, cleaned off of all of the useful and potentially interesting pieces of meat. And you'll turn and see
Oh, is this Bread's poor turtle?
turtles.
Turtles that are now in the warg.
So the parts of the grave shell there. You do know that in the lead up to the courtroom, there was one door that y'all had not entered yet.
Wait a minute. Can I forage the shells from these turtles?
You can try. Give me a nature.
Can I help him?
What are you...
Can I do that again?
Can I
What was
help
your
him?
nature check?
It was 12.
12?
Can I help?
You can aid if you'd like. So between both of y'all, you're pretty sure that you could cut them away from the corpses, but you'd probably need to spend some time properly working with the material to make it usable.
Guys, how cool would a turtle shell shield be?
That'd be pretty cool.
Okay, yeah, fair.
It would be about the size of a tower shield if you use the whole shell.
Brett, are you having money issues? Could we just not buy you a shield?
It would be really cool.
It
You
would
know what
be.
else we could do with it? We could turn it into a set.
That might be difficult considering the spines on the shell.
Yeah, it just like digs into the ground.
You
It's
get
like,
enough
uh-oh.
of an angle, anything will work.
It'd till up the ground.
So
It's an invention! You're a
The-
genius, Deimos.
The
I'm gonna steal it.
sled tiller.
Oh my god, if we hooked
What
up
a-
the wargs?
Would a plow not simply be simpler?
Simply simpler?
Shut up.
But it wouldn't be fun. We'll come back to this later.
So, from what you know, there are 3 doors that y'all have not entered in from this court complex, because y'all have entered already into the lictor's office.
Mm-hmm.
There's
Oh yeah, that's where we found the book that was signed to a lictor from a Stagram.
then
From a Stagram, even.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
so
Should we tell him about the book?
do you want to tell Alec about the book?
I come up and I poke Stano. Should we tell him?
I suppose she's got to pull the book out. You mentioned your last name is Stagram, correct?
Yes, my lady.
She's going to present him with the book.
He takes a look at the book, and there's a curious look on his face for a moment, and then as he opens his up,
Would that not be your father's writing?
you're absolutely correct. This is the work of my father. Absolutely amazing that this work lasted here, and
Do you
That-
need someone to talk to about your dad's passing?
Pull Taffy back a little. It's like, we'll leave it alone.
Taffy.
you do seem to be a good listener, Miss Taffy.
I am.
But it would be helpful if I could take this with me. May I?
Of course.
I've already read it, so it's okay.
He always did have some wonderful insights into the law.
Why is everyone
thank
looking at me? Brad, do you have something to say about the law?
I think you probably got the gist of it.
Ah, yes, the spa day.
It's okay. So, from the office, you know that there's one door that heads to the east and a door that heads to the west. Y'all know that the eastern door heads back into the courtroom setup, into some of the rooms, and one of the rooms that has some of the wall broken out and adjacent. Y'all have not explored the western door from the lictor's office yet.
Then we move onwards.
So you go through, now you have that door. You also have a door to the west from where the warg puppies were, which is a different part of the facility. And then there's a door out of the puppy area south that y'all have not gone into yet either.
There are so many rooms in this castle, Chris. This is so hard to keep up with.
There are quite a few rooms in this castle. Just imagine that if you can actually get ownership of it, how well you could redecorate.
How expensive that would be.
Money is no object.
Yeah, you worry too much.
What? Looks don't translate, Sid.
I know.
So would you like to exit through the western door of the lictor's office, the western door from where you found the puppies, or the southern door from where you found the puppies?
Let's go to the lictor's office first.
All right, and who's going to open the door?
I'll do it.
Thank you, because I don't want to die today.
24.
Wow, holy shit.
So from what you can tell, this is the door itself is unlocked and does not appear to be trapped.
All right, I just open it.
I follow Bread.
As you open the door, you see a long row of mostly empty bookshelf, and they're remarkably untouched. It's as though there's a thick layer of dust and a smell of mildew permeating the air.
You said mostly empty.
There's a door deeper into the citadel to the east that is hanging conspicuously open.
I want to check for maybe traps moving forward.
All right, give me a perception.
So we're like in a library?
22.
Give me a Hell Knight lore.
I don't
for
have
anyone
Hell
who's
Knight
got
lore.
it.
Ooh, I have architecture. Does that count?
Architecture will work.
8.
Versus
You're looking at the ceiling.
15.
The ceiling. Yes.
So you're pretty sure they use this as a law repository. This is where
Nice.
the
Love the law.
interns would intern fetching books for helping out the clients or anything that they had to particularly research.
Taffy's going to look for any non-law related books.
In a law library?
You never know what you can find.
From what you've been able to locate, you find most things either what's left over being odd aged treatises on law, but you also find scraps and bits of history relating to the Order of the Nail.
She is very gently stuffing them to like a book if they're like loose leaf,
Okay.
and then shoves them in her bag.
Taffy, do you have anything you'd like to share?
Not at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to read them first.
Still looking for traps over here.
And as you see Bread meticulously moving foot by foot, checking
I feel like he's taking
bookshelves.
books and like tilting them to try to find secret passages. He's looking for like strings on the floor.
I
Sometimes
appreciate
crouching
this.
down very low, putting his head horizontal to the floor, looking up, looking down, pressing on the floor.
I'm not gonna die if you're around, Bread. You're awesome.
You say that, but
He's checking for traps and I'm
Just
letting you do it.
don't run into any rats.
the spear.
I mean, I thought it was a spell book. It wasn't. It was kind of...
You do not see any traps leading up to the door.
There are no traps.
Cool.
Thank you, Bread.
You're welcome.
I go to the door
We appreciate your hard work.
and wait for Bread.
So in the far western part of the room, you have a door leading north and a door leading south. The door to the north remains slightly ajar.
Oh, can
A
I?
jar door.
I wonder. Can I track and see if anybody's been through
Shut
here?
up.
Yeah. Give me a survival.
Jules, you're a nightmare creature.
I am not.
Can I aid?
I thought I had a specific. Got a 10.
Do you have survival, Taffy?
Mm-hmm.
You may also attempt to aid.
Oh. No, that was a 6.
Hang on. 21.
Dang.
So Spread and Taffy are mostly focused around the outside of the door jambs, making sure that there are no spear traps that could possibly
Impale Taffy.
cause any new punctures in Taffy's present garb. And that's when
Yeah, I'm
Stano...
still wearing the plain, dress.
Yes, and that's when Stano looks down and goes, "You missed the obvious. You see the footprints? These are definitely newer."
Oh, shit.
Can I tell what kind of footprints they are? Are they human, halfling?
They appear to be humanoid. Medium-sized humanoid.
It's not a halfling.
Thank goodness for that.
Come on.
Huh.
Would y'all like to enter into the room?
Pull your weapons
Stealthily.
and then go into the
Stealthily.
room.
I'm gonna recast shield on myself.
All right, Stano's gonna go to the front.
No.
No?
No.
No?
Your ranger needs to go to the front so he can stealth in. The ranger needs to go to the front so he can stealth in and see, and then he'll come back and tell him.
Yeah, okay, whatever, dude.
All right. Give me a stealth.
18.
So as you quietly open the door, begin moving in, you see what appears to be a prisoner intake area with long benches. There are rings on the walls for shackles, and a small administrative area occupies the western end of the room that you've entered into. Further to the east, you see an iron raised gate with several prisoner holding cells that seem to be hanging open. And there's a set of storage lockers lining the wall on the southern edge.
A break room?
So I don't see any
What?
I don't know.
anybody in
I
here.
was being a
Give me a
smartass.
perception check.
25.
You can see that there appear to be highly decomposed bodies over in the holding cells as they stand ajar. But you would need to move closer to have a greater idea to the extent of what's going on there.
Okay. I'll push the door behind me open slightly and make a motion that you can come inside and it's okay.
All right. Does everyone else want to enter the room?
Mm-hmm. I'm behind.
Yes. Stano's gonna walk into the room. Chris, you said that in the very DM. Are you sure you touched that?
I'm working on my
Does a
suspense.
23 hit?
All right. Y'all are all inside of the room. What would you like to do?
The bodies.
All right. Go ahead and give me a perception check.
That's a 10. A big old fat 10.
It's a body.
It's gross.
So
Aren't you a necromancer?
Yeah, but it has bits on it. I like skeleton. Zombies are gross. Skeletons are...
Ghouls?
Depends on how rotted they are.
Demi-liches.
Oh, liches are awesome.
Demi-liches?
Demi-liches too.
Just the heads?
Just the heads.
I like puppies.
Me too. Want to pet Luna?
Yes.
I hold out Luna. So
Pets Luna. Roll to pet Luna.
Roll to pet Luna.
Does he pet Luna?
he doesn't actually have an opportunity to.
Oh, no!
The reason that he doesn't have an opportunity to pet Luna is as he's beginning to move towards Taffy.
Oh no!
As Taffy is checking out the.
A trap triggers and stabs Taffy.
No, better yet, the dead rise. Blah.
In two of the cells, you see that there are
Just
two
kidding.
bodies in each one. All four rise, pulling themselves up, skeletal hands and bodies covered in ragged cloth.
Oh, they're not gross jibbly bits still.
Correct. They're desiccated skeletons.
In that case, they're...
Well, Taffy, you have your chance.
I don't know how to... I don't know.
Everyone else, give me perception checks. You're entering initiative. Steno, you see 4 skeletons having risen up right on either side of Taffy. Taffy has entered into the prisoner's area, blocking your ability to actually reach either one of or either group of these skeletons until she moves.
Odaxi,
Yeah?
I'm done with you.
No, you're not.
Okay. Would Stano just be able to move Taffy?
So Stano, if Taffy is willing, would be able to use an action to move up to Taffy, an action to pick Taffy up, and then would be able to move half their speed back carrying Taffy.
That sounds fine. That's what she's gonna do.
So
Taffy resists. No,
as
just
these
kidding.
skeletons are rising up, you see Stano.
And specifically, do you mind? Specifically, she's gonna walk over. She's going to lift Taffy up under her armpits and carry her back over there like that. Like a small child would a very large cat. And then set her down.
So they're in cages, right?
Right, but all of the cages are open.
Let's close the fucking cages.
Can I cast a spell as this is happening?
No, because it is Demos's action.
Demos!
So if Demos desires, they can move up, and in moving up, they can attack one of the two groups.
I'm going to attack the group closest to me with my rapier.
You
So
move
you're
up and do
gonna-
it?
So you're going to
Yes.
move up,
Yes.
and you're going to try to stab one of the skeletons.
I realize there might be a problem there.
Yes. Stabbing a skeleton would be hard to do.
Because I don't have slashing, I just have piercing. Piercing doesn't work, does it?
All right, roll your to
Okay,
hit.
I'll try. 22.
22 hits.
Dang. Roll your damage.
Okay.
Guys, is this the first time Damos actually hit something with his rapier?
No, it is
Not the first, but the first time getting into it.
1.
Wait.
Yay.
Oh, no, 1.
Oh.
Oh no.
What's your...
I do not have a plus
Right,
because
those
it
are the
relies on
rattles
strength.
and the bones.
So
Cool.
Demos dashingly moves up, rapier drawn, gets into a formal stance, and stabs right through the chest of the skeleton.
Have at thee.
And then realizes it glances off of a bone and goes cleanly through to the other side, dealing no effective damage.
Demos.
I tried.
You
What a
have one
lovely
action
try.
You got one action, Demos. What you got?
I'm gonna put shield on myself because I'm like right there.
We've rested since last time, or not last time, but yeah, we've rested.
Yes. So y'all had every spell that y'all have used since re-entering the keep this time should be up. Because y'all dealt with Yolecha, and then y'all dealt with Alak, and then you dealt with the spiders.
What?
And now you have the skeletons in front of you. Alak pulls out his sword and then looks towards Demos. Pull back so we can all attack them, Demos. We can't attack through you.
I can
Well,
try.
I'm here.
And Alak readies an action to strike at one of the skeletons as they move close, with a full baseball bat style swing ready to go. Bread.
Okay. I am going to, or Bread's going to, so right now there's no way to get up there, right? Because people were in the way.
Correct. So
Person.
This is why we have the arson.
Sorry.
You gonna poison Damos?
No, it's just annoying.
Somebody could always grab me.
you're ready for stealth. There's 4 monsters getting ready to bear down upon Demos if they don't move as the closest target.
Yeah. I guess I'll move up to Deimos and grab them and try to put them back.
Okay. Is Demos willing?
Yes, very.
So you can bring Demos back to the other side. And so Taffy's sitting on one Ed, standing next to Stano. And then Demos and Bread are on the other side. And then 5 foot in front of the opening is Alak with his sword raised and ready to go. And that's as they clawed, as you were pulling them away, they've moved forward. And there's now one engaging Alak, and then another one attempting to engage Taffy. The other 2 being caught can't actually get at either Demos or Bread, but they are each going to move up and attempt strikes if they are capable of doing so.
Cowards.
So the first one moves up to Alak, and Alak uses his reaction to swing out but he's worried about accidentally clipping either Demos or Taffy, and so he pulls back on his strike and misses the skeleton, but it attempts to do retribution back, clawing out at Alak, but Alak's armor is heavy enough and he is trained well enough that the skeleton's claws don't actually reach him. But then the one next to Taffy reaches out and tries to claw into her. What is her AC?
13.
It does hit you, but it does not critical you. And so
Oh,
you're
that's reassuring.
so the claw reaches out and scrabbles across, catching an exposed part of your flesh for 5 points of damage.
Ooh.
And then it's going to attempt one more strike against you,
Is Taffy still with us?
Yep,
but
she's
misses.
still up.
And then the one in front of Alak will do one more strike against him, but then also miss. Taffy, something has just reached out and tried to touch you from the other side. It has left a painful, welling gash.
So, could
On
you
you.
say it's trying to say hello from the other side?
Grim tendrils.
In a line? All right.
Through Deimos?
No,
No.
so y'all are flanking on each one.
Oh, right. Okay.
So, if I can hit 2 of the skeletons in a row
So
without hitting.
all the skeletons are in line. So they're all single file down the
It's a
row.
30-foot line. Are they all
All
within
four-
30?
Yeah, all 4 of them could be in line, but you would have to move your new friend Alak out of the way since he's at the head of it.
Could I move up Alak and hold the line a little?
Give me an Arcana.
19.
And you think that you can angle just enough, being at a slightly different height, that you can probably keep your allies out of the line of your attack. And Grim Tendrils just forces a reflex save, right?
Saving throw, fortitude tendrils of darkness from your fingertips and right through the air. Yep. Fortitude save.
1 fails. A second critically fails.
Do you know my DC? Because they have to beat my DC.
Right, so I know the first one failed your DC because
Uh-huh.
it would be lower than a 15, and I know your DC is higher than 15.
Oh, yes.
The second one rolls a natural 1.
Okay.
The third one rolls a natural 20. And the fourth one, what's your DC?
17.
And the fourth one fails. So 1 critically succeeds.
So did he like jump into the air and like do the splits in the air like a cheerleader style?
It's probably more along the lines of when the one in front of it critically succeeds, it just whips around as it tries to adjust, continuing going forward.
I would have
As this tentacle bramble of spines and pain.
died. Okay, 2d6 and 1 bleeds, but
And
they
what
don't
kind of damage
bleed.
is this?
Negative. Oh wait, it's just negative damage.
So negative energy damage. You see the spines wrap around the bones, and all of the skeletons seem to be invigorated
No,
from the damage.
Ah, balls.
it just says you deal 2d4 negative damage. It doesn't say negative energy.
That's what that means.
I'm not healing them. I'm not telling.
I mean, to be fair, they haven't taken any damage, so.
I finally fucking did something right, and then I did it wrong.
Steno, you see the tendrils wrap around.
Can she get at the fuckers?
You can.
Cool. You know what she's gonna do?
Is it going to be a power
Yeah,
attack?
she's gonna move up. She's gonna power attack 1.
All right, roll.
Fucking useless.
It's not useless. It's a great spell, but. 21.
Hits.
18 damage.
You feel some resistance as the sword is not cutting through flesh, but it's trying to cut through bone, which can be notoriously bad for the edge of swords. But you just clash through and splinter the first one in your path, annihilating the one that was initially attempting to attack Taffy. You have one more within your reach that does not have cover.
Do they have any weapons?
They do not have any weapons.
So they're just using a claw attack?
They are.
Okay. She's going to try to trip him
All right.
using her weapon and her athletics. So give me 1 second. Please don't crit fail this. Give that to Chris.
Medvik gets another button. Which, that was a very good toss, Taffy.
26.
26 is a critical success.
He falls. I don't know, he trips.
And what happens when you critically succeed on a trip attempt?
I don't know,
You
actually.
deal bludgeoning damage.
Oh! How much bludgeoning damage do I deal?
You deal 1d6 bludgeoning damage as it falls.
Cool.
So you sweep
5.
So you sweep out the legs from underneath it, and as it falls and crashes onto its head, the 5 points of damage shatters it apart as it splinters and cascades apart.
Wait, it
Really?
died?
It did.
5 damage?
Uh-huh.
Oh, wow.
It's amazing what happens when you hit it with a thing it doesn't have resistance against.
And she's gonna toss her head back gloriously, but she's not really tossing her hair because it's very tightly bund.
Just this, ha! kind
Yeah.
of look. Demos.
I am going to get backwards.
All right.
I am going to get out of the way in any conceivable way that I am. That
Okay.
So back my.
So you move an action to back away. You have 2
Yes.
left.
I'm going to use Inspire Courage and Guidance.
Guidance on whom?
You.
Cool.
Alrighty. And so that now means we have Alex's turn. He's going to move up, clogging the way, but hoping to be able to take out one of these. He's able to hit with his greatsword, and he's not trying to do a power attack in this case. And he's able to cleave through and snap the head off of one, and then he backs up to allow access for other people to be able to strike. Bread. There's one left that's 5 foot deeper into the caged area,
Okay.
down the hall that leads between them.
But it's I have access to it
You do have access to
within
it.
one move.
One move, yeah.
Okay. I'm going to stride up to it, pull out my crowbar,
Okay.
You're what?
Bludgeon time.
and do the 2
Twin takedown?
twin takedown. Now I need to get what that's for.
Ooh. Midvik gets all of the buttons except from Jamos. We will make Jamos give me buttons soon enough.
Hey, I gave you one earlier.
17.
17 hits.
It's the book says 1d4 for short or 1d6 for long tool.
So the crowbar would actually be a short tool.
Okay.
The long tool is like what you would do for like the equivalent of a garden rake. A good sized crowbar can get that big, but you need something special, and you don't want to take that would probably be like a 2 bulk item.
Okay.
It's definitely not a light, and I think a standard crowbar is a light.
Rolled a 4.
4 for your damage.
Mm-hmm.
So with your, is that including your strength?
Oh. Well, I don't know. Oh, so it's +2 for strength or plus my strength on that.
Yep.
Yeah.
So 6.
So 6 damage.
Mhm.
So with your crowbar, Brad just moves forward, whips out the crowbar from his backpack, and then just slams it into the shoulder mid-range area of the skeleton, and it slams it against the bars, and it just collapses and falls apart. There don't appear to be any more undead, but plenty of pieces for Taffy.
Taffy goes up and takes all. Oh. Taffy goes up and grabs all 4 skulls, shoving them into her pack, except for the broken one, which she tosses to the.
Please don't let us find that in our rooms later. Taffy.
Yeah, you won't. She also takes the hands. They have small bones. She can use them.
Great. It's great.
Considering the influence of the imps in this area, it's no wonder some of the negative energy seeped into the bones.
I'm super depressive, Spelling.
It would have made for an excellent tattoo. What, you don't like the idea of a sequence of viney thorns cresting around a skull? I think it would be quite dashing on the right figure.
What?
As the entire group turns their faces towards Shay. So, do y'all want to take a quick look around the room?
Yes.
Give me perception checks.
9.
So we have a
9.
9. another
17.
9, a 17. And our last one?
I'm also gonna take the left
6.
foot of each of the skeletons.
The left foot?
Just the left.
Just the left foot.
Look, I have more than 2 left feet.
That would explain why you keep walking into traps.
I know, right?
So as you look around, most of the area seems to have been picked over, but when you begin checking the lockers, you find that they have been locked and don't yet appear to be tampered with. But they are
Acid
locked.
splash. No, I'm just kidding.
Demos.
Bread,
Bread. These lockers are locked.
will you check for traps and then we will unlock them?
Sure.
Holy shit.
That would be a 26 to checking for traps.
They are not trapped. Give me a thievery to unlock.
25.
Nice.
Nice.
You're able to pop the lock on each of the lockers, and in each one, you find quite a few items, as though these were neglected when everyone was moving the material out of the castle the first round. Each one of the lockers contains contains a bludgeoning weapon,
Oh, that would have been nice.
Ooh.
and you can see these happen to be silvered, low-grade silver bludgeoning weapons.
What kind of bludgeoning weapon is it?
Like a club.
One is a flail.
Oh.
Nice.
One is a light hammer. One is a mace, and the other is a morning star. In one of the lockers, there is a lesser dark vision elixir. In another locker, you see a jade cat.
Mine.
Another locker contains a lesser cheetah's elixir. The final locker contains 2 more items, a potency crystal, as well as a scroll of mending.
What's that potency crystal?
Potency crystal allows you to make your weapon +1 and striking for, I believe, a minute. Or an action, one of the two. But it is a consumable.
So Jade Cat, potion of elixir of cheetah.
Yep. Lesser
Lesser?
cheetah's elixir, a lesser dark vision elixir.
So what I'm saying is, since there are 4 silvered weapons, is that an insinuation that we should each take a silvered weapon?
I'll take the light hammer. It's probably the only thing I can use.
From what you can tell, these lockers are geared towards being able to eventually take out skeletal undead.
Oh, useful when you have skeletal undead in the holding cells.
Cheeky, isn't it?
A little!
Pardon, my lady. We should have set your bard at the locks a little sooner. It took a ranger to solve it, though.
Is Demos speechless?
Irritated.
Demos, come get a silvered weapon.
I'm coming, God.
Y'all think that there is probably one more room that y'all have not entered into yet, and it is likely the room that was just off of the hallway into the courtroom.
Do you want the morning star or the flail?
Before Stano takes one, she's actually going to turn to Alec and go, so Stagram, would you like to grab one?
He thinks about it for a moment. While I do appreciate it, I think it may be advisable for me to resist partaking in any of your spoils. It would be a faux pas, considering that I am after something in particular myself. But help yourself. These are of a fantastic Hell Knight style.
And she is going to take the Morning Star.
What's left?
Flail and a mace.
Well, yeah, flail. I'll take the flail.
Okay, I guess I got a mace.
Taffy, I'm sure you're excited to have that scroll.
She does gimme hand and grabs the scroll and like friggin' Smeagol or something. It's just like, and she immediately starts reading it.
You can tell that it is a genuine scroll, an arcane scroll of mending.
She hugs it. Except for you and you, Luna, and Bramble.
Did you bring Bramble inside with you?
No,
Braxton.
Braxton, you're right.
Like,
Okay.
who the fuck is Bramble?
Braxton, sorry, Wimble and Bramble just sounded like a better combination, and I should have done. That would have made more sense. But Braxton.
So would y'all like to proceed to the
Yes.
final door that y'all have not checked out yet?
Yes.
Did anyone want to check it for anything?
I mean,
highly suggest
Brad's
that-
already checked the area for traps. Didn't that include the door?
This one is off of a hall.
Oh.
I'll check for traps again.
Okay.
26.
Well, thank you for being our trap detector.
From what you can tell, this door is unlocked and untrapped.
All right. Do they look like there's been any tracks going through this way?
So depends on how you want to approach. Do you want to approach from the area that the warg puppies were located, or do you want to approach from the courtroom hall? So you don't see any tracks entering in and out from the courtroom hall area.
Okay. Open the door.
As you open the door, you see that this was a once plush, crimson curtained room, but they now hang in tatters across the walls. You see that there are scuffs, revealing places where portraits had once hung. There's trash and rotted food in heaps on the floor like tiny, moldering corpses. You see that the doors lead to the north, and it is just slightly ajar, almost imperceptibly. You might have just missed it going a little bit quicker because there was so much stuff piled in the warg puppy's room. But you believe that this is a waiting chamber that connected the courtroom to the law offices in the back of the structure.
How tiny are tiny? Like rat sized or like halfling or gnome sized?
Bigger than a tiny sized creature, but not quite the size of a small creature. So kind of in between. It would technically be small. Do you want to try rooting through them?
Taffy's gonna hit each one of them first.
So you want to like take a hammer? Did you
I took the hammer.
So you want to take your silver light hammer and you're just going to like smash each pile?
No. No, she's gonna root around.
All right. So you start rooting around and you hear this. It's like,
Ugh.
Oh.
yeah, that was once alive. That's squishy. No, it looks like it is very similar to like the piles of material that the rats had gathered up on y'all's first entry in,
No.
Ugh.
and about as fresh.
Ugh.
Oh. I can't believe I did that, but God. Now she's gonna hit each pile with a hammer.
And Taffy takes her
There's splash
not quite
damage from
shiny
this.
hammer, but silver hammer, and just covers it in gore and muck.
Yeah.
And that's when Stano walks in.
And Taffy's at that point. Taffy's gonna reach into her pack, pull out a cloth, and like, wipe her hammer off before putting the hammer back in her.
Well, at least you know weapon etiquette.
I'm not a complete heathen.
Aren't you?
Complete heathen. She pulls out her thread and starts threading the bones of the fingers.
So, from what y'all can tell, y'all have checked every room and including the battlements of Castle Alterain.
Ugh. Finally.
Let's go to the basement.
And as such, y'all also level up.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yay! We get all our hit points back? Yes, of course.
No,
Rude.
Not until you rest. But you do get your new hit points back.
Oh.
And did everyone prepare their second level characters?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, totally did. Totally did.
Well, we'll talk about those next time. Da-da-da-da-da. Wah.